Hi, it's Obo975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Legacy version on Xbox. What you'll be watching in the background is a battle between my Crate Phantom and a crate using frags and shot cannons. One of the PvPers wanted to test out his shot cannon builds. This is the same person I fought against in their extremely experimental cutter. This was another ship along those lines. I did get moaned at quite a lot in this fight because after a while I realised that his big Prismo shield with 4 sets of banks was going to outlast my Bioweave with 2 sets of banks. So there may be points at which this fight where I head a little bit further out and take longer to come back around for passes. It's kind of it's a dirty but legitimate tactic for the Bioweave build that's faster. I've got less firepower, I'm in the faster ship. It's the advantage that I have. Also with this ship, it's very difficult to, I'm so used to frag builds and cannon builds where I can camp 4 pips to shields at all time, but really in something like this you need to occasionally charge up, and I was using the low damage phasing plasmas, so yeah, I'm doing hull damage but I'm only chipping away. I have got big damage short range blaster PAs for this ship as well, and I think I would have done better with them, but by the by, a lot of updates have come out for the PC version of Elite Dangerous, and I will give my first thoughts on a few of them, and then honestly I don't really have enough information, so I'm actually asking you guys on PC. Fill me in, let me know down below what you think of the new updates, how you think they're going, and what you think. I will give my opinion on a few things that I've seen. There are a good few things in the Vanguard update to speak about. It's a huge update. It's big. I like the emblem editor, but I feel it could have been better. It could have been more like the Black Ops 2 emblem editor with more layers and more shapes, so you could have made cooler things. But we have to be conscious of TTP. Anyone who works in gaming will know that's time to penis. We shall see. Giving players the ability to put their own decals on their ships is probably going to come back to bite FDev in the end. Yeah, TTP is a factor when you give players any chance of doing anything artistic within a video game. You know they will do it. They will draw penises. It's the way it is. But that's cool. I like that. I like the fact you can track who's attacking your BGS. That's great. So no more stealth BGS attacks or wondering who it is that's screwing you over. You'll now know up front. Well, it's still not going to stop them doing from private group and solo, but at least you'll know they're doing it. So that's kind of good. The perks, this is probably one of the areas where I need more information about all the perks, but once I heard about the perk that halves the price for Primo Ammo, I was like, yeah, I'm not a big fan. Primo Ammo is one of those things that I personally hate in Elite Dangerous. There's a lot of the new updates in Elite Dangerous that I feel if the developers played the game they might understand some of the criticism, but because they don't get engaged with the community or PvP, they probably won't see the huge gaping problems that they've created. Now, if you buy a ship for arcs, so for example you buy a Python Mark II, or I think there's a crate available for arcs, and I think there are very many available ships for arcs, but if you buy a ship with arcs, you don't pay the rebuy for the ship, and you can instantly call it to where you are with no travel time. Now say it's something like a Python Mark II, your rebuy is only going to be then the cost of the weaponry and the modules you put on top, so you're going to pay way less rebuy. And you can load it full of Primo and you can call it to wherever you are in the galaxy. And if it's dirt cheap rebuy, instead of reloading the Primo, you can commit suicide and have the Primo reload itself. Yeah, I don't know if that's still a thing on PC, but you can still do that on Xbox. And I'm not a big fan of that situation. The immediacy, the travel time, and we can see why they've done it, because these people have paid money for those ships and they would complain that they haven't got access to them like the rest of us. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, but personally I feel as though, I don't know, it's just, I don't like that one. That perk really wrangled me, and like, I get some of the others. I think Anne was on about there was an increase to profits on trading and stuff like that, but the percentages were quite small, I gotta say. The new fleet carriers, I think Anne said they can carry 60,000 tons, which is interesting in terms of trading ability and the mass ability to completely destroy someone's BGS. I mean, we've created absolute horror shows for BGSs by moving tons of slaves into their territory. Yeah, you could probably do some real damage with Squadron Fleet Carrier if utilised correctly. They are expensive for 25 billion. So the Dark Marauders are annoyed that I'm not on PC, because I could buy one and still have 10 bill left easy, and wouldn't be any skin off my nose. But I'm not on PC, so I can't get involved in buying one for the guys. I am on Xbox, and I will remain on Xbox. I have no plans to get a PC, which is why I'm only giving surface opinions on these features for PC, because I haven't engaged with them and I haven't played them. I can only, talk about what I've heard about. So I want you guys to let me know what you think of the features down below in the comments. At this point in the fight, I will point out that my opponent's problem was that's the reload for shot cannons. So he was struggling for reloads. We'd had the fight already with shot cannons and frags. So at this point in the fight, he's trying to reload out there, and material wise, they're heavy. That's a heavy price to pay to synth basic ammunition. I got the same problem with my enzyme missile. It requires Thargoid parts and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff to synth enzyme missiles. But you can see my bad pip management there. I was merely firing one plasma cannon, which isn't going to do anything. But I am trying to keep my shields with 4 pips as often as possible. So I start looping out further and further on the joust, so I'm getting a good recovery time in before we meet again. So let me know in the comments down below. I know this is a tactic that everyone hates. I mean, I hate when people do it to me, and I think everybody hates the bi-weave that will run away and recharge, etc. It's one of those traits. It's one of those things, but speed is your advantage. So it's kind of like the way you've built your ship is to utilize that speed. So the way you've built your ship forces you to kind of play like this, but people don't like fighting against it. Certainly I don't, and I don't know anyone that does like fighting against it. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let's get back to some of the issues I have with some of the updates on the PC version. Now, I think I've made myself clear, but so far the ships that have come out, the only one of interest to me would be the Type 8. The rest of them I feel are too much power creep. The Type 9 mining ship might be of interest, but I don't know yet. A medium-sized mining ship is a bit, I don't know. But honestly, with the new Vanguard update, I haven't got enough information or time talking to the people on PC yet to really fully understand the depths of it. But I did chat to Al quite a bit about it last night, and there's a lot of features on there that I was like, oh, that's really just poo. That's not very good. That's not very good. I like the increasing of ranks. That was quite, was it something? So you can have more titles, because we were locked to 4 originally, which just wasn't enough to signify different roles within the squadron. But overall, I feel the update's kind of lackluster, and what I think Elite Dangerous on PC really needs is a good, strong rebalancing patch, like a real run-through, rebalancing things and looking at things properly. Because they have allowed masses of power creep with the new ships. They have really altered the game in a lot of ways that people aren't that keen on, and honestly, I'm still not tempted. Nothing they've done since they split away from Xbox has tempted me to go over to PC. Not one little thing. My main problem with the PC is just all the cheats. I mean, it's too easy to upload programs and cheat on there, and that really puts me off. As you can see, towards the end of the fight, my opponent unfortunately ran out of all ammo and ran out of all synth. This was probably because this fight took a long time because I'm being a real bi-weave bitch. But I think when you're in a bi-weave and playing like a bitch, you have to own it. It is what the ship is designed to do. Loop out, get your shields back. Don't come in and brawl until you're ready to. And at this point, I didn't know he'd run out of ammo. I was literally at this point ready to change tactics and go 4 pips to engines until the end of the fight. But that was it. Unfortunately, he'd run totally out of ammo, and we had to call it. But that was all for this fight, and that's all. Thanks for watching.